As a woman with ADHD, have you ever started a new productivity routine, but then you fail yet again to stick to it just as soon as life gets just like a little bit overwhelming? I have ADHD, and even as a neuroscience professor, I struggled with this for years until I found the simple method I'm going to share with you in this video. I'm going to show you what it is, how it'll get you through your to-do list, even when, not if, life gets a little bit chaotic. The best part, it doesn't require complicated systems or fancy apps. Listen, for years I tried and failed to stick to elaborate routines that were supposed to help me conquer my absurdly long and overwhelming to-do list. But not only did I fail every single time, but bonus, I also racked up a ton of shame and imposter syndrome. Yay. And eventually I hit burnout hard. Then I had a powerful realization. The best system isn't what everyone else is telling me to use. It is whatever system I actually keep using. So I stopped trying to follow neurotypical advice and I ditched the idea of the perfect system. Instead, I started using a simple system that actually works for my ADHD brain, and I've never looked back. I've been using it now for years. Of all the changes that I have made, this one has had the biggest impact on my daily overwhelm with the least amount of effort. And I've got a template linked below if you want to try it. Now, failing at to-do lists and productivity comes with a lot of emotional baggage. So first, I want to get a few things straight. If you've failed at productivity systems before, it's not your fault. The system failed you, not the other way around. ADHD brains are inconsistent by design. It is literally neurobiological. It's how you are wired. This means you won't be consistent, okay? And that's okay. What matters is getting back on the horse, because continuation beats consistency every single time. Because consistency means progress, and progress is the point. Because if you keep moving towards something, eventually you're going to get there. It's physics. Second, to-do lists never end. There will always be more to do in life. Now, this is actually comforting because it means that to-do lists aren't something you are meant to complete, so don't beat yourself up. There's always going to be more. The goal is actually to close the loop for the day, not to always clear your entire list. Or ever clear your entire list. So what is this system? Well, I call it the today list. You can set it up, you can maintain it in 20 minutes or less per day. So if you're ready to learn more, let me show you. So let's start with phase 0. Confront and categorize your to-do list. I call this phase 0 because it's really a one-time thing. So again, if you want to follow along, download the template in the description. You can do it with me and then you're done. And do not, I repeat, do not skip this step. It's necessary for the rest of the steps to work, and it is a game changer. Okay, so I want you to start by just barfing out your entire to-do list onto a page. Don't hold back, get it all out. And next to each task, I want you to write down when it needs to be complete. And trust me, seeing it on paper actually makes it less scary than when it's all in your head swirling around, even if the list is a mile long. Getting it out in front of you and seeing what you're dealing with will always feel less scary. Now, going forward, you're just going to add new to-dos as they come up, and you don't have to redo the whole list. So now that you have faced that to-do list, you have done the hardest part. Congrats. You are ready to move on to phase 1. Phase 1 is prioritize and prune. Now, have you ever spent the entire day busily working, answering emails, doing a lot of tasks, only to look up at the end of the day and realize, I know I was incredibly busy today, but I didn't get anything important done? Just me? Because this happened to me daily. So one of the biggest problems with to-do lists is they don't help you figure out what's actually important or where to start. And ADHD brains have so much trouble with prioritizing, and everything looks equally important when it's just sitting there on that list. Now that you have that entire list barfed out onto paper, we're going to sort it using the Eisenhower matrix. For every single task, ask 2 quick questions. So for each item, you're going to decide, is this important? Is it urgent? Is it neither or both? And I've added checkboxes to help you. So only mark something important if not doing that thing has real and dire consequences. Guilt and shoulds, like replying to that group email you feel guilty about, is not important unless someone's safety is involved. So that's marking it important, and then you're going to mark it urgent if it is coming up very, very soon. If not, you don't mark it urgent. And now here's how we're going to use that information to actually prioritize your list. First, if it's important and it's urgent, you are going to do it first. If it's important but not urgent, you are going to schedule it. You're going to put it on your calendar, including when you're going to work on it. Now, is it urgent but not important? You're going to delegate, automate, or eliminate it. If you can't eliminate it now, note it for the future. You'll want to start saying no to these things in the future. And if something is not important, not urgent, I want you to eliminate it or automate it. And then as you add new tasks to your to-do list in the future, you're just going to pop them into the right category as you go. So it becomes very quick because you're adding one task at a time. And this gets easier with practice, and you can always adjust what's urgent as deadlines approach. So now your list is prioritized and you know exactly what to do next. So are you ready for action? Let's move on to phase 2. Phase 2 is pick your priorities. So one of the things that surprised me when I started this, and it ends up surprising a lot of the women I work with ADHD, is just how many of the things on your to-do list aren't actually that important. But even after sorting your list, you're probably still staring at a decent sized pile of urgent and important tasks. And that's where phase 2, pick your priorities, comes in. So here's the most important thing I need you to stick to. Do not skip this. I need you to pick 3 tasks that if you accomplish them today, you'll call them a success. And prioritize choosing from those urgent and important tasks because the deadline's coming up and they're important to you. And let me just be clear here. These are not every single task you're going to do in the day. These are the 3 top priorities you really want to get done. So those tiny little tasks that happen throughout your day, those aren't part of your big 3. Now, I love this because my big 3 becomes my actual today list. And 3 things is achievable. Now, some days I can't narrow it down to 3. If this starts happening a few days in a row, it's cool because it is a clear signal that I'm overcommitting and it's time to dial it back. And now I have a concrete way to just spot this as it happens. And my clients ask me all the time, like, can you really get it down to 3? The answer is yes. When you get clear on what truly needs to be done, you can and you should be able to get it down to 3. Or again, that is a sign you need to dial it back. The more I learn about these things, the more I realize that the most successful people in the world actually do fewer things, not more. And now that I've implemented this for myself for a couple of years, this makes total sense. I am more productive while doing less busy work than I ever have. So now, how do you actually work this into your day so that you keep up with it? And that is what phase 3 is all about. So phase 3 is set yourself up for success. Now, here's the thing. We don't want to waste time in the morning deciding. Decision is the enemy and it is such an energy drain. What's important is you want to start your day already knowing what your priorities are so you can just use any energy you have to just get momentum. And that's where the morning momentum and PM power down periods of your day are going to come in. So let's start with the PM power down. At the end of your day, I want you to block off on your calendar 10 to 15 minutes. And don't roll your eyes at me, block it off right now. And here you're going to check how far you got on your big 3. If something didn't get finished, just carry it over to tomorrow. Okay? Then I want you to pick your big 3 for tomorrow. These can be new tasks or even chunks of a bigger project. Feel free to break these big 3 into subtasks of a bigger task. Now, the magic here is that this closes the loop on your day. You will actually feel accomplished when you check off your big 3. And you're going to know what exactly is coming up tomorrow, and you can go home without worrying about work, without worrying about what you're going to do tomorrow or what you might have forgotten. Seriously, this freed up so much brain space for me, like every single night. Now, in the morning, it's all about momentum. So I want you to, in the morning, block off 10 to 15 minutes again. And then what you're going to do in the morning is you're going to quickly review the big 3 you picked yesterday. And you're just going to get started. No decision fatigue, just action. You know you're going to be taking action on the most important things and you know when they're going to happen. Okay? So adding these 2 blocks to actually implement your big 3 and just keep up with it makes this so quick and so simple and frees up so much mental bandwidth and energy. Now, a bonus tip, I actually use these blocks also for my main email checks. I used to avoid my inbox until it got ridiculous and haunted my dreams every night. But now in those blocks, I just clear my inbox of the few emails I have each morning and afternoon. And I'm never worrying about all those messages that I haven't replied to and what's waiting for me when I finally decide to acknowledge that those emails exist. So listen, try this routine for a week, preferably 2, and you will be amazed at how much lighter your evening feels and how much more focused and productive your days are going to feel, because you're going to be fully present at work and fully present at home. Now, here are the 4 things I absolutely love about this routine. It is quick and it takes barely any time to maintain. Second, it is so flexible. When things go off the rails, because life happens for everyone, it is easy to just get back on track. Just update your list, pick your new big 3 for the next day, and move forward. Okay? No guilt, no shame. Third, you actually get to transition out of work mode, knowing you finished what matters. You have a plan for tomorrow, and you can just close the loop. And fourth, you can use this routine anywhere, at home, with your family, wherever you need it. Okay? Limiting your priorities each day helps your ADHD brain build its prioritizing muscle, which means you're going to start saying no to more things and actually enjoy your new free time and bandwidth. And the more you do this, the more that's going to happen for you. Now, once you have your to-do list ready to go, you will need to make this essential shift. So watch this video next where I walk you through what this shift is and how you can get started on that today.